You pretty much said it all, Nate. I think too. It's time for change. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. The recruiting struggles over the past couple of years. I think it's two out of the last four classes you've failed to sign a single high school wide receiver. Now you did make up with some of that in the transfer portal, but I don't think
you can't
a lot of
sustain that way long term.
But even still, I don't think a lot of those additions were on the back of Ron Dugan's. I think Mike Norvell put in a ton of work to make that happen as well. And the development, I mean, it just hasn't been there. It's time for a fresh face. But I like you said, don't make a move to make a move. Make a move when you have an upgrade. So if you have to ride it out one more year, so be it.
Hey guys, it's Terrence Mann. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by Noel Game Day. Go Noles.
Hey, what's up? This is Peter Ward, aka T-Dub, in the house. So we're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by Noel Game Day. Go live, go Noles.
Hi, this is Charlie Ward, and you're listening to Hear the Spear. Go Noles.
This is Terrell Buckley. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by Noel Game Day. No Bloody.
But perhaps better known as the greatest corner to ever step on a football field, Deion Primetime Sanders.
Great Deion Sanders, my brother. What's going on, man? I could wake up to that greeting every day, man. That was awesome.
Hello, Noles fans. This is former Seminole Derek Brooks, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, presented to you by Noel Game Day.
James Wilder Jr. What's going on, James?
Thanks for having me on. SSOD, Florida State or Die, and go Noles.
William Bar None Floyd.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What is happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from Hear the Spear, presented to you by NoelGameDay.com. We are here on a wonderful and beautiful Thursday night here in Tallahassee, Charlotte, somewhere near Tampa area, Bradenton. We're having a great night. This is a great night. This is a fun night. We got to wake Nate up. He needs, well, we can't say that anymore unless they start sponsoring the show longer, but he needs something to energize him. But we're here gentlemen, if I can even get my words right. How we doing?
Be working. That's all it is. Grinding. It's grind season.
The jacket's working right now. I mean,
is it? I can't decide.
What's the patches? What we got on the patches there? I see finals.
It's a finals patch, another finals patch, 14-time All-Star, and a whole bunch of other Mavericks patches on this side.
Jeez, god damn!
The Mavericks just released it for Dirk's jersey retirement last week. I happened to get lucky because it sold out instantly. I just happened to check the website at the right time.
Damn, looking fly. We look awful. I mean,
I got a Florida State one coming in tomorrow. Y'all need to check Twitter for that one. That one's gonna be crazy.
That one's gonna be good. You doing like a selfie in the mirror with that one? What are you thinking? Bathroom selfie?
No, I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's gonna be something good though.
That's gonna be good. Okay. Dustin can't even do that. He just has gray on nonstop. You know that Dustin has complained about getting dirt.
At least he has a darker shade of gray on.
He doesn't wear anything.
He has a darker shade of gray on today, so we're getting somewhere.
It's like a bluish almost.
Yeah.
My mic's on mute. This is dark blue.
Actually. It looks gray in the light.
It looks interesting.
A couple of my lights are out on the old steel.
Probably get that fixed.
I'm rocking 1 out of 3, so it could go completely dark in here at some point.
Only way you can look better.
Greer, how are we doing up there? What's going on? Tired?
Every day.
I feel that on
every day. Oh man,
that's my life right there.
I'm sipping on a smoothie with spinach in it, so this is just going to make me so much healthier. And I'm going to be looking with a 6-pack in no time. And my legs are going to get bigger for you, Nate, because I know that's something you've complained about.
No, you have woman legs, though. Like you're.
And woman legs are beautiful. I mean, I need to.
No, 50-year-old
cool
woman legs on a male are not beautiful. So you look disproportionate.
Jesus, golly. Eric says he's in Tallahassee. Should we be warned, Dustin? I'm kind of nervous now. Go to Dustin's house. He's throwing a party tonight.
I think y'all should meet up at Hobbit.
Yeah. Hobbit. Now Hobbit's the plug. All right, everybody, let's get started.
Only if they sponsor the show, though.
That's right.
They need to renew.
Yeah, new year, new
We're
us,
trying to figure
new
out.
sponsorships.
Logan says he can't reach them, so hopefully this broadcast channel will eventually get to them.
Hopefully so. 21's in here saying, great interview with Jared Verse. Reminds me of Jermaine. Seems very humble yet confident. Yeah, no, if you guys haven't yet, go check out that interview that me and Dustin had with Jared. Really good. And he talked about his whole recruitment, picking Florida State, and a whole ton of other things, along with Mike Norvell and his crazy energy. So I thought that was a great video. You guys can go check that out on YouTube. Also, it's on iTunes and everything. So we might be doing more of those kind of interviews throughout the offseason to give you guys some more content. It's, when some of these guys are flexible, be able to jump on here. But let's go and get started with this evening's episode. As always, you can listen on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's get rocking. Florida State had a good week.
Your mic's kind of being weird.
Yeah, your mic's choppy.
On y'all?
It's choppy.
It's like echoing or choppy or something.
Is it the right mic? It's the right mic, right?
It is the right mic. I think
that's a good thing. What I might do is unplug and plug back in just a second. But let's start off with the
live
number one
technical
thing.
Difficulties.
Well, you interrupting me is the live difficulties. Just not even technical. You're just a difficult person right now. But Jared Verse picks Florida State. Big time pickup here. He goes over and says goodbye and no chance for you, Tennessee. This is all Florida State. He played in 4 games during Albany's spring season. He had 22 tackles, 10 tackles for losses, and 4 sacks. During the fall, though, had 52 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, and 9.5 sacks, 13 quarterback hurries in his 11 starts with Albany. But this is a big-time pickup for Florida State's defense heading into next season. He brings leadership. He can bring experience, and he's got the skill set, and he can only get better, too. He's still young, which is crazy to think of, but this is still a young guy, but with a really high ceiling coming into Tallahassee this upcoming, now arrived, but will be coming and playing next fall.
Yeah, you needed somebody to come in off the edge with the losses of Jermaine Johnson and Keir Thomas, and Verse could be that guy. I don't know if he comes in and has that Jermaine Johnson type of year, but he's going to be very helpful in a room that is kind of lacking experience, but there's a lot of potential there. And he's going to be a steady hand. And one thing about him during that interview, he's just a very, very mature, down-to-earth type of guy, level head on his shoulders. And what really impressed me was he reached out to all 30-plus schools that offered him during his transfer recruitment to let them know of his decision before he publicly put it out. And I don't know, that just speaks a lot about him. And he's got 4 years of eligibility remaining, probably about 6'4", 255, 260. Just got those things you can't teach. You watch some of those videos of him hustling down the field, chasing down running backs. Very impressive kid and great addition. It's going to be good that he can go through spring.
Yeah, I'm going to stop short of the Jermaine Johnson comparisons. I think everyone's going to want to comp him to Jermaine Johnson. So, Jermaine is going to be a first-round draft pick, but I think that the ceiling for Verse is also that high-level day one draft pick. He has all the traits with the size and the speed, and he, like you said, he's young, and he's going to be at Florida State for a couple of years, and they needed that depth there. Losing out on Keir, losing Jermaine. Even Cushney, entering the portal. Even though he's at FSU for just 1 year, that was another depth guy. But it brings you a experienced Division I player that has untapped potential. So. I expect him to have a strong impact on FSU, in 2022.
We talked about it in the interview where, I was wondering what he wants to work on, and he said his get-off speed, and that's something that, we got to see on film about how fast that already is. And Nate, you wanted us to ask him about his 100-meter speed in high school, and he said, he ran at 200 pounds, 10.97. Which is crazy for that size. I mean, 10.97 is already fast, but for the size he was running that at, 200 pounds, I mean, most of the guys that you see running professionally, 160, 170, barely get into those 180s. These guys, it's rare to have some of those heavier guys running 100 meters, but for his size to be running that fast, it shows on film, too, and plays and hawking down players down the field, beating out his DBs at Albany. trying to get those tackles.
Mhm.
And it helps ton and in quarterback hurries too. And he did very well in that in the fall.
You have everything there. You have, you had the traits. So, you had, like I said, you had the size, you had the speed. But then you also have the work ethic. And usually guys that are athletic freaks that have work ethics, hardly do those guys, not realize their potential. So, that bodes well for FSU.
Mm-hmm. What was your takeaway, Dustin, from the interview? Really, I mean, it seems like you got a good head on his shoulders, and it was funny to hear too. Some of the schools, we heard Tennessee too, but he said Houston was really a big one at the end for him on deciding. There was a few other schools, but he tried to say, he was intending on announcing on Wednesday, but he said he got head blocked. He just didn't know. He wanted to sleep on it one more time and wake up on Thursday and make a decision. But what was kind of like your key takeaway from that interview a couple days ago?
Like I said before, really just the head on his shoulders, his personality. You look at all of the recruits in the 2022 class that Florida State's bringing in, the transfers they're bringing in right now. These are all guys that are going to be positive for FSU, not just on the field, but in the locker room as well. And that's been a huge part of rebuilding this culture at Florida State under Mike Norvell, having great people in the locker room and talent on the football field. And I think Verse is just going to add to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He actually is arriving. He's already on campus. You put that in the Discord, but he's made it safely to Tallahassee, which is all good. Yeah. Along with 10 new additions, transfers. I mean, Florida State has done a really good job in the transfer portal overall, but Florida State announced earlier today 10 new additional pickups and additions to that roster. So good sign that Florida State's able to get these early enrollees in along with their transfer portal needs, and they're coming in early to already start working out. We've seen videos. We put out an article this morning, Dustin, about multiple wide receivers working with Jordan Wilson, AJ Duff. You saw Cam McDonald. This was his YouTube video. You guys should go check it out and subscribe to him. But he has a video out there of some balls being caught by Micah Pittman. You got Johnny Wilson out there. And you've got AJ Duffy throwing to him. So some of the newcomers onto campus already getting some work in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I would definitely check that out. Just a couple of minutes on Cam's YouTube. Make sure to subscribe as well. But you got to see some of the attributes. You saw Johnny Wilson's that catch over the middle. Just how long that kid is. And Micah Pittman had a nice little one-handed catch, and just a nice little first little look at AJ Duffy as well. So that was pretty cool to see. But going back to what you said, Logan, the 10 new additions. So you have those guys on top of the 11 early enrollees from the 2022 class. That's 21 total early enrollees, 12 high school recruits, one is a PWO, and Dante Anderson, and then the 9 transfers. And that number could still go up. So we'll see what happens.
Florida State is on a roll, too, in the wide receiver room once again with their 4th edition already. Florida State is doing a really good job here, but this one, it comes with special teams, too. Winston Wright, West Virginia wide receiver, picks Florida State. This was also a weird kind of a commitment thing going down with Facebook stories being screenshotted and recorded, and which was the weirdest thing I've ever kind of seen with whatever happened there. I wish we could have had him on here. I got an interview with him to talk about it maybe later on, but we were screenshots of different schools, and Florida State wasn't even in that top 3 that he was planning on to announce, but he ends up picking Florida State the past season. As a junior, he played in 13 games, caught 63 passes, racking up 688 yards and 5 touchdowns, not only offensively, but also watch out in the special teams because, Nate, you're always high on what needs to happen at kick return, punt return. What is your first feeling about this new addition there?
I think you pegged down your main guys in the return game with Micah at punt return, and this is going to be your primary kick return guy. And he's a true kick return threat, man. It's there's levels to it, and Florida State now has 2 guys who can put FSU in field position, all those hitting yards that we've talked about that Florida State lost out on this year. you have two guys that can change the game for FSU. And just the fact that, if you watch what he did at West Virginia, he's also a big play guy as a wide receiver. So, I kind of, copied that little Norvell statement about being pissed off about being 0-4. And he talked about then, making the changes that needed to happen in that locker room. And it's clear that they weren't very happy with that wide receiver room. And they addressed it with 4 quality transfers. And, it kind of came out of left field a little bit. I don't think anyone really saw this one coming, but it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year deal where, Florida State really has to win next year, and you bring in a guy who can make it happen for you in the passing game. But for me, it's really exciting that it's another specialist that Florida State really hasn't had, and they've struggled with the last 2 years, is finding that guy who can adequately return the ball.
It's good to get a receiver.
It's been frustrating to watch, man.
It's good to get a receiver that can take the top off the defense too, because we haven't had that in a while. And it was so frustrating last year just watching guys that can't separate, you can't go over the top with. We keep trying to go over the top with Helton, who's 5'7" on a good day. It's good to get some guys that can. I mean, Winston Wright's not the biggest guy. I think he's listed at 5'10", 5'11", but he's got such elite speed that it's something this offense needs. And it's not like with these other guys with Span and Wilson and Pittman, where they have a ton of potential, but Wright has production, and I think that's big to bring that to the locker room as well.
I think Pittman's had production in spurts, and I think some of that's been poor quarterback play. We all know that Spawn is all about the future for him. Making that positional change in college. But, we talk about like Verse has those traits that you want, and, Spawn has those traits of, size, speed. He has everything you want in a potential big play guy. So it's great to see, the fact that, like you said, no knock on Helton, but, that being your downfield threat is questionable. So.
Yeah, and in that announcement of the 10 new additions to the roster today, Mike Norvell actually commented on the signing of Winston Wright. He said, "Winston is another playmaker coming to our receiving core. He is a dynamic and productive player who has grown throughout his career. He has a versatile skill set and is a dynamic kickoff returner," like you noted, Nate. Mm-hmm. We're excited for all the different ways that he can impact the game.
Yeah, man.
We've got that article on our site. He commented on all 10 guys, Jared Verse included. So go check that out if you get a chance.
Even in like the screen games in the short game that Norvell does, you got a couple guys, 1 or 2 guys miss, and all of a sudden you got a 30, 40-yard gain. So, Florida State. I think who's been their best guy this past year? Pookie Wilson in those routes, So
Wilson or McLean. That's about it.
So,
yeah, I mean, they can use them a lot of things. I mean, now you got Corey Wren too. I mean, you got 2 now speedy threats that you can use, and you're hoping that Corey Wren is back fully, really ready to rock and healthy, which I think he has been. But now you add on that threat there for defense.
Hasn't produced. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
The best guy the back end of the season was Ja'Kai Douglas.
Yeah, Douglas has been.
So
the guy you can rely on the most, at least for catching those deep balls.
Well, him and Wilson. I think Wilson's still going to play a role in this offense. I think Ja'Kai Douglas will still play a role. McLean,
for sure.
But when it brings competition, but it also brings a lot more skill to that room. So
there's a lot of different variety.
It's going to make the offense better, man.
And just a lot more depth, because there wasn't much depth at receiver last year. Once you get past those first 3 or 4 guys, it's pretty lackluster. So now you actually have some guys. I wouldn't say that you can rely on, but you can have some confidence in.
Yeah, no, there's definitely different. It's a Swiss Army knife now. I mean, look at Johnny Wilson. We saw the video of Duffy throwing to him, but it just didn't look catchable really at all. But the friggin' arm length of him is stupid. It doesn't look real at all. It's like a damn windmill coming down, and he catches it, and he's in stride.
He didn't
and
even
everything.
jump.
Yeah. No, just here you go. I got it. Don't worry. Don't even have to step up. But when that moves into the red zone, you imagine there you've got McLean out wide to the right. You've got him at the X. You got Wilson off to the Y. Like, that just adds on different threats. Or you put in, you've got Wright now that you can use in the backfield. You got Ja'Kai Douglas, who's reliable. So you're starting to build that wide receiver room up. And even if it is just 1 year, that special teams too, where Wright comes in, that's a great addition because we know it was lackluster. We've commented on it multiple times after games about how atrocious the punt game return along with kickoff return, and
pretty much all year.
You have your long-term guy in Sam McCall who could be your kick return guy. So there. One thing that wasn't talked about is some of these guys that have come in are also good special teams players. So
Rodney Hill too.
Yep, Rodney Hill. So
yeah, there was a comment on here earlier, and this will lead us into the next discussion. Fabien Lovett. Jen is asking here: is Lovett coming back a good thing?
It's terrible.
Good? It's awful.
I can't believe it.
Jen's asking, Lovett coming back is good, right? Question mark.
Legitimately, Florida State now has one of the best defensive lines in the ACC coming back next year.
At least interior.
I think outside. I think people are sleeping on Derek McClendon. I've been saying that for a while now. I think he's going to take a next step. And I think like I said last week, when we were talking about Verse and the possibility of him coming to Florida State, you talk about Peyton and some of the guys that they brought in from the high school level the past few years. So, there's pieces there, but the fact that you have that quality depth and just really good skill, that's going to help the guys outside. While they don't have the sheer talent of Kier and Jermaine, those guys inside. Even you can kick Dennis Briggs out on certain downs too. So you have my favorite word of versatility, but you also have a lot of depth. You get Briggs back. You got Lovett, who probably I think we all agreed was the most consistent guy throughout the season. You have Ray who came on. You get Cooper back, who had a good back end of the season.
Another Farmer.
You get Jackson. Yeah, you get Jackson back. You get Farmer. You get.
I'm big on Farmer. I think Farmer's going to take
your true freshman
step.
Yeah, you get Chambry Jackson. 1 year in the system and got to change his body some. So you have guys there that
ton of bodies.
Yep, and you have a motivated Coach Higgins, who we expect back and. When Higgins is on his shit, there's not very many better defensive line coaches in the country. So
I don't think so either.
It's phenomenal for Lovett to come back, who really had a decision to make with the NFL. So getting him back for another season is awesome.
We got to talk with him after practices too, and watch him. And one thing that we don't really talk about as much, but leadership. Remember during the middle of the season, he was one. The coaches to put some of the younger guys in before him. He wanted Malcolm Ray to start before him. And so he talked about it in an interview and he told, I'm here to help my teammates. I feel like I've got the system down and I know what I'm doing, but the more experience for some of these younger guys is only going to help throughout the rest of the season. So that's why he told Odell and the rest of the coaching staff, like Adam Fuller, like, hey, let's jump Malcolm Ray in here and start this game. So, just a leadership role that he has on this team overall, I think is something to point out.
No, and it paid off because now you have 5 legitimate defensive tackles that all have experience, and we'll see what Farmer and Chambry Jackson can develop into. I mean, that's a ton of depth. You should always have fresh and talented guys, coming in and out. Barring injury.
Yeah, I think Briggs still plays inside. That slashing interior guy. So I think that's his best position. But he can also, he can play D and on certain downs. So
I think Amari Gaynor could come down and contribute off the edge as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to use Briggs in a variety of different ways. I think, he's more of a thinner defensive tackles than some of these other guys, but I think they're going to use him in different packages. And I think he's more versatile than a majority of the group. I'm still very high on him, hopefully coming back healthy. And I think he's getting close to 100%, if not ready. I think he'll play a pretty good season next year, and we'll see. I do think, you think there'll be an addition of another defensive end in the portal after the spring, weigh their options and see how things go.
They should pursue the kid from TCU. If I were them, Fields from TCU, I would definitely kick the tires on that and see
He's
what
turning Texas hard.
I know. So
get on it, Nate, and get him over here.
That's a guy who's produced multiple seasons. So, yeah, I expect him to maybe take another guy, but we'll see. I mean, if Peyton has a great, winter camp and that heads into spring, we'll see.
There's a comment here from Trent talking about bodies don't change under storms. So there's a lot of things. There's different players. I know Nate will talk about this too, but there's different players that you could do as much as you can. And, body, look at Toafili. I mean, he's still added on 10 pounds. You can't tell on TV.
I fully disagree with that statement.
But one thing I want to point before you get going, Nate, is let's look at the injuries from last year compared to years prior than that. A whole 180 and change. The techniques, the ways that they're working out, their bodies, their tissues are getting stronger. Their bodies are getting healthier, better endurance to what lasts in these games. I mean, they had to play all the way to the fourth quarter in a lot of these games and go full speed. Let some time develop, but these bodies don't have to be Georgia level. They don't have to be gigantic. Obviously, we saw they play in the damn national championship, but that kind of thing is going to take a little bit of time. And that took time whenever Jimbo was here. When Vic was here, that took 3-4 years to build. Those bodies took a while. So, I don't think everybody should be focused on what they look like physique wise and everything that, on TV. When you watch Alabama and Georgia, you're just doing mean things to yourself. And that's what you don't need to do. Patience is patience. And, like I said, you're not going to see massive changes on Toafili. That's just not how his body is going to develop. He's not going to look like Dalvin Cook did going for freshman and sophomore year. Dalvin Cook just has a better genetic body.
So I disagree with that kind of wholeheartedly. It's just groupthink of people on Twitter that just don't want to see FSU be successful.
Nate, your mic might be bugging a little bit on your side there.
Is that better?
I think it's on your headphones. I might have to move it to the side. I think it's just rubbing on your side of your face. I think it's.
How about now?
No, it's like the wires. The wires are touching something because that's where your mic is coming from. It's not coming from your phone. There you go. Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh yeah.
It's touching my zipper.
So don't take your zipper down, please.
So people forget that strength and conditioning. It's not just strength; it's conditioning. And like you kind of took some of the words out of my mouth with, the fact that there's less injuries, there's better body composition. There's a more focus on what these guys are doing in the weight room that have more of an impact on football. Georgia has a shit ton of really big guys. That's great, but that's not. Those guys are few and far between, man. Like those guys are unicorns. And Florida State hasn't won on the field enough to land those guys. So, winning on the field is going to help you land those kids. So, in order to get there, you got to understand that, a guy's not going to go from 220 to 280 in one season in a healthy way. So I think I don't think, necessarily need to be patient with it, but you have to understand where FSU is coming from when they made that transition, because under Taggart, that was just a freaking facade. you have a guy who was a certified strength coach off of an internet class. So
12-hour course.
Yep, Florida State has had to change so much under Norvell in terms of strength and conditioning and how they lift, what they lift, why they lift, what they eat, how they eat.
Nutrition. Yeah, I was going to say nutrition.
Even fundamentals on the field. So, everyone needs to chill out, man.
A little bit of
Philly's just a different person. You use him. Not everyone has a body structure that to carry 220, or some kids just are what they are. That's not everyone in the NFL is a pure freak athlete, and built like Zeus. You look at Justin Jefferson. He doesn't have the size of a T.O. Neither does Jamar Chase. But those guys are two of the probably the next generation of great wide receivers in the NFL. So you just have to understand Devontae Smith.
Jameson Williams. I don't know if you already talked about him.
So you just have to relax. I think when you look at Quashon Fuller and how he changed his body, you look at Patrick Payton, who in one semester came in at 210 and now he's pushing 240. So there are guys who have changed their body. So let's just understand that it's not rapid. It's not going to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Malik McLean, he early enrolleed and his body changed ginormous. At least being able to see him in practice, that's a good looking cat for a true freshman coming in and look great in blocking. Sometimes some of these guys don't need to be giants. You don't want skilled players don't need to be giants.
Akeem Dent, coming in at 197 pounds last year, looking phenomenal. The best shape he's ever been in. Had a great season this past season. Yeah. So let's let it play out, man.
And you look at some of the injuries too, just to finish this off. You look at some of the injuries last year, and a lot of these guys were able to come back. Toa Philly, surprisingly, out of nowhere, was able to come back. That's joints, that's tissue being stronger than ever. Multiple guys. Corbin injured too. He comes back. Jordan Travis is able to come back. So, just little things like that you got to, be appreciative of and feel optimistic about the future. So let's jump into the next thing. I know there's a lot of questions, and which we'll probably get into all of the things in the comments now, but just bringing up to Alabama, Georgia, the floodgates are open, Nate.
Yeah.
The floodgates are open in Alabama and Georgia. Florida FSU fans are getting everybody out of that portal. Every Alabama player, every Georgia player. As of Twitter yesterday.
Choose who they want.
Nick Saban and Tallahassee.
Pick and choose who they want.
Saban and Tallahassee?
That's what I've heard through the grapevine recently.
Yes, I heard Saban is going to step down and take over the DC role at FSU.
Can I put that in a report and get some clicks off that in the morning, Nate? At least just a Facebook crowd. Just a Facebook crowd.
Just don't name me, unnamed source and go for it.
No, it's going to be under Nate's author profile since he doesn't go into into Tempest to the back end. Now I can just say, you know what, Nate, this was your article, is your report. And I got video. I'm going to clip it. I put in there. But yeah, what are y'all's thoughts on a few names? I want to bring some of these up. One of them has been Jermaine Burton, the wide receiver at Georgia. Hasn't even hit the transfer portal yet. Hasn't even hit it yet. So let's chill on that a little bit.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about the relationship. We're talking about FS Twitter right now. We're talking like Florida State Twitter.
Let's talk about the guys who are in the portal.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I talked to a source close to Jermaine Burton yesterday or last night. Right now, everything's rumors on that. Everybody was talking about that they could come back and team up in Tallahassee, but it doesn't really make too much sense from what I was told. He has jumped around in his high school career to about 4, almost 5 schools, but still rather thinnish kind of group right now. Performed very well for Georgia this last season. And so I don't see really if it were to happen and have to be a magical thing, but he hasn't even hit the transfer portal yet. So let's talk about transfer portal people that are actually in there. Which name do we want to go with first? Who wants to go?
So
Nate always has names.
So, I I'm really intrigued by the linebacker King. I can't pronounce his last name. I know that everyone wants to talk about Trey Sanders, and I still think that's one to watch with Gibbs coming in. With Georgia, I don't think I need a list of names, man. So pull up a list of names. I don't know everyone who said the portal. Not everyone.
I thought Logan had a list. He brought up the topic.
What about that linebacker? I saw that linebacker from Alabama enter the transfer portal.
That's who Nate was
Top
just
100
talking
guy.
about.
Is that him?
Drew Sanders.
So you got Drew Sanders. You got Jaleel Billingsley, tight end. Jackson Bratton, linebacker.
I think
Paul Tyson,
Billingsley would be. I think Billingsley would be a intriguing guy, but they don't need a tight end.
Michael Trigg.
Michael Trigg's the one tight end I would pursue that because that kid's got freakish athletic ability, but that guy soured on FSU when they moved away from Taggart and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's a repairable relationship.
Noah Cain's off to LSU, so that one's off the board.
Noah Cain's going to LSU.
And then in corner 24/7, no one from Georgia's in the portal yet.
Who?
No one from Georgia is in the portal yet.
Yeah, so it's all
a lot of internal things.
It's all hearsay and
yeah,
pretty much.
I like the linebacker King. Whatever. I think that the other linebacker Sanders, I think he's more of a D end. That's why he hasn't had a lot of role at linebacker. But I think he goes. I think he's from Texas, so I think he probably goes back towards closer to home that way. No, the white kid.
Oh, you mean Drew Sanders?
Yeah, Drew Sanders.
Tallahassee's on the way to Texas.
I would take Shane Lee, who just entered the portal too. FSU needs as much talent and depth at linebacker as they can get. That would be another guy that I kick the tires on.
I'm unsure if Mims is going to hit the portal, but it's always Mims until it ain't.
Heard way too much Mims talk in the last.
Mims is always coming. It's going to come. It's going to happen eventually. He'll be in Garnet and Gold, but not sure if it's going to happen this offseason.
So why would he leave right now? So he's slated to be the starter next year. Georgia's coming off a national title, so all that booster money and NIL stuff is going to be even deeper pockets. If they talk about him entering the portal, they're gonna set him up right. But that would be phenomenal. I do think that if that ever did happen, I do think FSU would be a legitimate option for him because he really liked Coach Atkins.
Mm-hmm. Yep, had a really good relationship there.
A lot. So
it was close.
No, it comes down to need, man. I don't think that Burton. I don't think they need a fifth wide receiver. Billingsley, while he's an enticing recruit, I don't think he does much different for Florida State's offense in the tight end. I don't think he's that. I don't think you need a seventh tight end. I think you look more on the defensive side and what is in the portal. Bring in a linebacker, and like Dustin said earlier, and we've talked about it a lot, is move Gaynor down to a defensive, a DN. So,
yeah.
There's talk at Ashford from Oregon. There's been a lot of smoke about that. The quarterback.
Is it off of J. Trav's tweet? Going off.
No, I mean, there's there's a couple references from players, but there's. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple references from players, like Pittman, and so maybe some innuendo or from Travis, but there's also some stuff from other people behind the scenes that there's some legitimate talk with possibly him coming in because Florida State does need another quarterback. And he's also a really good baseball player. Florida State is, an option this way. This part of, Ashford's from Alabama, right? Played at Hoover,
yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, guy likes to play baseball and football, so we'll see.
Yeah, Micah Pittman tweeted yesterday, let's just say we ain't done yet with the eyes emoji. Hashtag go Noles.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like someone's on lock. Are they in the portal now, or are they about to announce this upcoming weekend? I know Joe Johnson had tweeted to expect Friday or Saturday for a potential announcement on someone. So,
yeah, and I guess he's making the
We'll
graphic.
see, man.
He's been hyping it up on social media.
You got K Camp putting out the bat signal, so
yeah,
something's coming. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Who is it gonna be? Who could it be?
It's Mims, man. It's Mims. It's Mims.
It's Mims until it ain't, baby.
It's Mims and Saban.
Mims and Saban are coming. Well, don't forget about Trey Sanders because he's also on the way always.
So it's I think we could put it out there. We can go ahead and put it out there for everyone else. So it's Sanders coming in, Mims and Saban. So the cat's out of the bag.
Jesus.
Antonio Brown's coming too.
Antonio Brown's on the way.
He needs a new deal.
He needs a new NIL deal.
Rising
He's got 1 year. He's got 1 year of college eligibility left. He's going to decide to go back to college. So
I don't know if he's going to want to go through school.
Well, the quote was, if J.R. Smith can do it, why can't I? I mean, he's that out there. Who knows what that guy would do?
God Almighty!
I think
Tommy Brown, the offensive lineman.
With Tommy Brown right now. He's got a couple offers from some other programs, so I haven't heard much from FSU on him.
Wesley's got James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother, coming after a fresh national championship, and then Caleb Williams. This is going to be an incredible team, guys. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be a fun one to watch, and I guess Caleb Williams is going to be the backup to J-Trav, so good backup to have. Definitely rely on Caleb Williams, I think. I feel like, and Jackson Dart, and that kind of finishes off your feels like a pretty A, B+ kind of transfer portal.
No, I think Dart's going to go to Ole Miss. They just added Zach Evans, so Lane Kiffin's trying to compete. Got to feel for Luke Altmaier. Got to feel for Luke Altmaier buying that bullshit that Kiffin was selling, and then he goes and gets a 5-star transfer that looks like supposedly the landing spot for Jackson Dart. So we'll see.
I don't feel bad for him at all.
Poor Luke.
He made his own bed.
Yep.
He made his own bed?
Yeah.
You play with shit. You play with shit.
He had every opportunity to be at Florida State.
Oh, yeah. I thought, in that journal thing that he was writing, that he, said he made his bed every morning.
No, dude.
It's what? Cool.
You never heard the quote?
I think I have.
Old wives' tale.
I'm not old, though, Nate.
Parent saying.
I'm young. I'm a
You're
baby.
Not that young.
I am wise, though. My wisdom. Just like where you get that wisdom with that gray right there and that beard. That's the soup chin.
You got the wisdom of a typical millennial college kid who thinks because you're a millennial, dude. You're 100% millennial.
Technically.
I guess so. You didn't finish it off, though. I feel like you're going to say something nice to me. A compliment.
No, I was not going to say anything nice to you. it was going to use the word douchebag and stuff like that. So
that was it. I could withstand that. I could withstand that. Nate, I think we all need to go to New Orleans this next year, and we should all go together. Have a
I want to go so bad, dude. I wish 4-day weekend at LSU.
Well, I wish that too.
God, if that game was at LSU, I would. I mean, that's a bucket list for me.
Should definitely do Athens when we play Georgia there. That's
even though I can't stand them, like to go to Notre Dame, go to Michigan, LSU for sure. That's at the top of my list. LSU,
Yeah, Death Valley.
LSU, Athens at the top of my list, but Michigan, Notre Dame are places I'd like to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said on here before, numerous times, the Rose Bowl. I'd love to watch a game there.
True. Peter's coming in with a great comment. Hit the like button if you haven't yet. We're almost at 50 likes already. This is crazy, but appreciate everybody coming in here, hanging out with us on YouTube. This is a big topic. Another one on the comment section tonight is Dugan's coming.
I hope not.
Back. Whoa, jeez.
Sorry.
Damn, someone clip
Not
that
sorry.
to get that to Twitter. And who would be Dugan's replacement?
I think that FSU. I understand where Norvell's coming from. Not just going to make a move to make a move. You got to find the right fit. If that guy is not there, you give it another season. But I hope, for the sake of the development of this offense and recruiting wise, that Florida State does move on. I think that relationship is strong. Him and Norvell get along well, so it's not a thing where they can't, where they're butting heads or anything. I just think it's a thing of where it comes to the on-field performance and in the recruiting room. So it just hasn't happened.
You pretty much said it all, Nate. I think too. It's time for change. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, the recruiting struggles over the past couple of years. I think it's two out of the last 4 classes you've failed to sign a single high school wide receiver. Now, you did make up with some of that in the transfer portal, but I don't think
you can't sustain that way long term.
But even still, I don't think a lot of those additions were on the back of Ron Dugan's. I think Mike Norvell put in a ton of work to make that happen as well. And the development, it just hasn't been there. It's time for a fresh face. But I like you said, don't make a move to make a move. Make a move when you have an upgrade. So if you have to ride it out one more year, so be it. Or just move over. Find a running backs coach.
If Eddie Grant is out there, man, I know they went after Cedar or some, and you have Larry Porter out there. He's worked with Norvell before. There are options that are possibly out there that you could slide Johnson over to wide receiver and get in an elite recruiter like Grant and Porter and put him at running back.
Yeah. David Johnson's nickname isn't Coach Yak for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's a wide receivers coach, at heart.
Yeah. Cubby's over here saying can't develop, can't recruit, redunculous. That's a pretty good comment for the night. You might have won tonight, Cubby.
The donk fell off.
Yeah, there ain't no
the
more
donk's
donk.
on cinder blocks.
Yeah, the donk. There ain't no donk there.
Donk's at the chop shop. The donk is at the chop shop.
Donk has fell apart, y'all. It has fallen apart. William, appreciate the super sticker here and hanging out with us this evening. Lawrence Dossie should come back, Camilla's saying, potentially.
Okay, what the fuck,
That
man?
was kind of, you get kind of the same thing there. You kind of get about the same thing.
Why does it always have to be a former Florida State guy? Wow.
Right.
From the 2013 team.
So really, Florida State should bring back Dossie. They should bring back. Might as well go ahead and bring back
Pruitt.
Bring
Charles
back Mark
Kelly.
McHale. Go old school. Bring back David Kelly. Let's have a reunion.
Terry
Tony
Bowden.
Lockett.
Not Terry.
Jeff Bowden.
Yeah, Jeff Bowden. Terry Bowden.
Dante Pimpleton.
Well, duh.
Oh God.
Get him into some more FSU uniforms
Charles
and take some
Kelly.
pictures. Lowe's,
Yeah,
man.
don't
Lowe's said he's ready to
disrespect Charles
join.
Kelly, man. Charles Kelly's a good coach, bro. Crazy.
Get him, Beezy.
Charles Kelly.
I just thought he struggled to.
Kelly was.
That's where
was
Kelly. That's where all the
Charles Kelly was put into a position he should have never been put in. That was
Correct.
That was Jimbo Fisher's stupid move.
Correct. He was fine at linebackers coach, but once you make him a full-time DC, he just struggled to accumulate and struggled to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm brain dead right now. He struggled to make adjustments at halftime.
He wasn't familiar with the defense. He wasn't familiar with the defense that Pruitt ran, so there was no continuity in that defense. So you have a guy who was trying to coach a defense he didn't really know, but the guy's a good recruiter, and his players fucking loved him. And there's a reason why he's had success since he's left FSU.
Still glad he's gone.
Some guys are fits where they're at. Some guys when they take a higher position, they just can't do it. And I think maybe that's why you had a guy like Bud Foster that always fought not becoming a head coach. Maybe he knew his limits. Maybe that's why Brett Venables pushed so long on not taking a head coaching job. Maybe he just knew that he has things to work on. So, we'll see. Kirby Smart is taking him a while. Let's not get it twisted. He won a national title because of the way he's recruited. But he's had to go through it. So I'll argue with you about Kelly. But anyone else in that area of time at Florida State, I'll agree with you there.
Dustin, we've got a not really wild, but there's a pretty decent recruiting weekend heading into tomorrow, really. Florida State is going to have their top quarterback commit coming on Saturday. We'll be catching up with Chris Parson. He's bringing his family with him, or he's going with his family, and we'll be here on Saturday morning. Looking forward to catching up with him, but we'll be in attendance to go check out who's coming in town. Nate tried to get VZ involved, but he ignored both you and our calls and everything. Texts, emails, and
calls.
At some point, Austin is going to realize that he's the bridge for Florida State to get back to the elite level, is him talking to recruits.
If that's what
the football gods want. Austin.
And he got a jacket
Austin,
instead.
That's what the football gods want. Bring your,
I didn't
bring
get
your
a
gold
jacket.
jacket. No, bring your gold jacket.
Where's the jacket?
Bring your Jordans. And you are the one link back to the elite dynasty. And you just don't know it yet. All you got to do is talk to a recruit.
If I'm the link, I'm sorry. If I'm the link, I'm able to accept. We'll go 7-5 every year. I'm okay with that.
7-5 is that's the best way.
Let me ask you this.
Also, guess you're coming, VZ.
I'm saying as a ceiling.
VZ,
I'm willing to accept that 7-5 ceiling.
If hindsight says, or not hindsight, because say if you were told if you interview 5 recruits, Florida State basketball win a national title, would you do it?
Yeah, but that's because I'm a basketball guy, not a football guy. I don't give a damn about football right now.
Damn, I mean, he just came out of his last second win against a crappy Miami basketball team.
Crappy?
Whoa, I thought you said last pod they aren't good.
I didn't say that. I said they're not great.
Clip it.
Well, no. You said on Twitter this week that the whole ACC's down and they suck.
Oh, the ACC's
how's
terrible.
Boston College a top 40
No. Virginia Tech.
So,
first of all,
let's not act like that's a great
39th. I'm going to fight somebody that Virginia Tech's 39th. I don't understand it.
Say that.
ACC is bad. But
before we get to basketball, let's talk about this weekend. So,
yeah, decent weekend.
I'll let Dustin go first, and then I'll follow up with my thoughts.
Not a whole lot to say. It should be a pretty chill recruiting weekend. This isn't really an official junior day per se. It's really just an opportunity.
Multiple of them.
It's an opportunity for Florida State to get a smaller group of guys on campus. It'll give them more time to connect with each individual prospect. And I'd imagine, later on a month or so down the road, once National Signing Day and everything is done, that's when they'll probably host a official junior day where they have a bunch of kids into Tallahassee. But I think this weekend, you'll probably have between 20 and 50 kids out there. And like you said, Logan, some of the highlights probably going to be Chris Parson. You've got Makari Vickers coming in. Interview we got up on the website right now from Nate. Roderick Kearney, offensive tackle, coming in. A target in the 2023 class. You've got some 2024 and 2025 2025 guys coming in. Jordan Pride. I know
DJ
you said,
Pickett.
yeah, you mentioned Pickett. So me and Logan are planning to be out
Pickett
there.
just accepted Under Armour All-American game invite. The guy's rising sophomores got 32 offers already. I have an interview coming with him too that I did. You got Los's cousin coming in.
Who's his cousin?
The wide receiver, man, Tyler Williams.
Oh, I didn't know that was his cousin.
Get with the freaking program over here.
I didn't know. But Logan and I are going to be out there. We'll be getting some photos, videos, and hopefully interviewing a few guys, getting some stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
And there's always, like we were talking about before you popped on here, there's always going to be guys that pop in that you don't know about yet. So, but Florida State's purposely keeping these small for the meantime, just to keep it more of a, one of these were intimate, but a more, one-on-one, more of a personal session. So
don't say intimate. That sounds weird.
An intimate setting. No, but make sure you go read that article. Kearney's really big right now in Florida State. He likes Coach Atkins, and he's got a good relationship with Atkins and Norvell right now. So that's a guy to watch.
Mm-hmm. And you had the other guy too. He's not making it in this weekend, but 2024 wide receiver, Florida State legacy recruit Camden Fryer. Nate had a nice interview with him.
How come that article is not posted yet, man?
It's live. I posted it live on the website. It's Logan's job to put on social media, so you got to take that.
Yeah.
It's on the website.
It's gonna be a Friday special.
Come on, dude.
It's gonna be a Friday special. A Friday special.
Let me find this.
Yeah. I'll talk about.
You have no idea what I'm gonna do with that clickbait. Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I get to work with the legacy too. I get to work. Oh, here we go. Now, Dustin.
I texted Logan the article at 1:11 a.m. last night.
Wow, was I up then, Nate? Was I really up then?
Dude, you literally responded.
Zima,
hitting sack now.
Zima, petting your cat like a weirdo.
Drinking Zima and petting my cat.
So,
oh my God, no,
but
special piece.
But that kid is, I know he's a legacy, but he went to that combine and ran the fastest 40. Put on a little bit of a show. I know he's a legacy. Make sure you check that out as well. That was a really good interview, almost a 40-minute interview I had with him. So that we talked a lot about FSU, a lot about the realization of a dream with that offer, and his thoughts on the future of the program, and baseball is very important for him, and he's a guy that may have to make a decision when it's time for him to. He might have a legitimate option to go pro in baseball out of high school. So,
is he a legit target for Florida State in the 2024 class?
Absolutely.
Like they're pursuing him? Because I noticed one of his quotes. He said I couldn't see myself entering 2023 uncommitted, or he said something like that.
Yeah.
Made it seem like he could commit to Florida State down the line.
I think that is. Anywhere he goes, right now he has the top 3 of Florida State, Texas A&M, and Georgia. All are involved. Georgia hasn't offered in football yet, but they want to get him in the camp setting. They already offered him in baseball. Texas A&M's offered in football now, and baseball hasn't offered yet. So, I mean, the kid's going to be a national recruit.
I know there's some questions here on some Georgia players, but that's we can only really talk about those that are hitting the transfer portal. So we could guess all day long about the roster. We did that earlier in the show, so I'd say definitely once this ends, go back and listen to some of them.
Some great guesses, let me tell you.
Got it. Amarius Mims, James Cook. Obviously, sarcasm.
The guys that have eligibility are probably going to skip the draft and come to Florida State, is what we're hearing.
I'll be clipping that. Put that in a piece for tomorrow morning at 10.
Carter's going to come. Davis, the defense tackle. He's going to push for Florida State transfer over, and I think that Kobe Dean's going to ask for an extra year of eligibility. do what he should have done coming out of high school and going to Florida State.
Yeah, it's just the last little bit there for your team that you almost went to. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Let's jump into some basketball.
I think you made a good decision.
Wait 1 second before we go to basketball playoffs. Any prediction? How do we feel? My Steelers get to be able to get in there, and the Rams are hot. Cam Akers. No, they're not. No, I'm feeling good. I'm not even saying anything.
41-14. That's what I'm saying.
Juju could be back. I don't think he's going to play, but could be back next week.
Coming.
But look at the Rams. Jalen Ramsey, Cam Akers now.
I got KC. The last game was what, 43-6, 41-6. What was that last time when they played?
I didn't watch it. I didn't see any of that happen.
I got Big Ben shitting his pants sometime in the second quarter, and he's out.
Love to hear it. I can't wait.
Yeah, so
no, I think
I think all roads are leading to the Packers winning the whole thing right now.
No. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
As long as Tom Brady doesn't win, I'm good.
There has never been a team that lost to Kirk Cousins in the regular season that won a Super Bowl, and that is fact. And the Packers lost to the Vikings in week 10, 11, something like that. Can't be the Packers.
Vikings fans have some weird shit stats. I'll tell you that.
Me being a Bears fan, I'm not a Packers fan, but Aaron Rodgers had 3 picks in week 1 versus Kansas City, or not Kansas City, but New Orleans, and then had won the rest of the season. The guys just played phenomenally this year
against the Vikings. So,
yep.
COVID gave them super.
How about the Saints, man? I think the Saints would have been a legit playoff team if Jameis never got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's crazy to think because he ain't had nothing there but Alvin Kamara. He ain't had shit.
Yeah, they had piecemealed that offense together.
Yeah. And he built that chemistry, but he'd been doing that the whole offseason. So I think we'll have a good discussion, too, next week on Jameis. But I'm looking forward to the playoffs. There's some good matchups this upcoming weekend. I'm really
who's Tampa Bay play on Sunday?
They play the Eagles.
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah, so
it's a dub.
It's supposed to be, it's going to be a flat fest. Apparently, it's supposed to rain all day. Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just go through all the matchups real quick. You got Bucks, Eagles. You got Cowboys, Niners, Rams, Cardinals, which should be entertaining.
I think the Cowboys 49ers game is going to be tricky. I think 49ers are playing. They're finally getting healthy.
You just can't get a good read on them. Sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're just terrible. Mm-hmm. Then on the AFC side, you got Steelers, Chiefs by 40, Bills, Patriots, and then Bengals, Raiders.
I wasn't even listening to you until you said something. So
I said Chiefs by 40.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get
to say anything from a Vikings fan. I know I block off Vikings
at least I can admit we suck, and I'm waiting for you to admit it as well.
Hey, Cincinnati's my sleeper team.
Yeah,
I think it's a fun ride.
Cincinnati.
I like it.
What Arizona Cardinals team you gonna get? You gonna get the first half where they were 8-1, or the back end where they struggled? I think that as long as Tom Brady doesn't win, I don't care.
As long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't win, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's gonna. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Bengals versus Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Something crazy happened then.
Well, when is Derrick Henry coming back this week? Or I mean, not this week, but next week. I'm guessing. Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah.
Cardinals. Colts just laid an egg, man.
Also, I love how Logan's not using an updated NFL bracket.
Yeah, I love. What the hell am I using?
What are we looking at, dude? I've been wondering the whole time. I'm like, what is this?
Because the Rams are the 4 seed. I'm very positive.
Yeah, this NFL site sucks. Screw you. screwball name as commissioner, Roger Goodell. Your site
and-
sucks. But please
I think
sponsor the
Rams
stream when you
could
get a
be-
chance.
What if you hit the?
I think that
Sorry.
I think the Rams could be, could do something in the playoffs too.
I don't know. Stafford's been struggling the last month and a half.
I don't know what's up with them, but Odell Beckham seems
all
to be in
about-
a groove.
It's all about defense in the playoffs, bro. They have a good defense.
Tell that to Kansas City last couple of years.
Man,
Well-
how about the Chargers and Derwin? They didn't get to be able to get in, man. I mean, thank
Because the
God
coach
for
is an
me.
idiot.
Well, complete clown ball, yeah.
Steelers
sucks.
should
He cost
be in
them
the
4
playoffs
games
right
this year.
now.
You shut up,
He
Dustin.
cost them 4 games. Those
Yeah,
those
taking
4
a damn
games is a
knee, man.
difference.
I'll kill you.
Those 4 games makes them the number 1 seed in the AFC. Just
What is
poor
this?
coaching
Patrick,
decisions.
don't you own a Guthrie's in town? Do you own a Guthrie's in town,
No.
or something you need to tell us?
I
Who,
heard
me?
that's his favorite spot, bro. He gets double fries, no slaw.
Whose?
Nate.
Oh, I meant to say Nate. Yeah, Nate, you own what? I didn't know you own a Guthrie's.
No, that'd be cool if I owned Guthrie's, but if I owned Guthrie's, I would not sponsor freaking.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
There.
Don't say it.
Well, where's
I'm not
Dustin
gonna say
going?
it.
Dustin just disappeared. How do I get his camera back on? There he is.
If I own
Come on back.
if I own Guthrie's, my name
Why
will
we-
not be tied to a certain person.
Why
So
we-
Don't say
Oh
it.
man,
Hey, bathroom break, bro.
ain't that funny? Damn, dude. Damn. Oh God. Let's jump into some basketball, VZ, to end off the pod. This was some good stuff here, beating the rival Miami there at the last second, practically.
Technically, both
Okay.
these games are rivalries because I consider Louisville a rival in basketball. Just those
you
teams,
really?
they just don't like each other. Both those programs, we may treat them like, the redheaded stepchild because they can't beat us. But those teams do not like each other. There's some serious beef between those two programs. But it was 2 good wins. Both teams came in undefeated in conference play. You come out with 2 wins. That's really all you can ask for. Miami game is probably closer than people expected coming into the year. And Florida State really limited possessions in that game. If you go through all of Miami's games, no one held them to fewer possessions in a game than Florida State. So it was purposeful that the game was slow, that the offense wasn't looking great. They were just trying to limit as many possessions as possible. And then Louisville game was just, it's typical Louisville. They come in thinking they're all that and then coming to Tallahassee and just lay an egg.
I know that.
So is it Florida State's turning it around, or is the conference that bad? Or both?
A little bit of both. We've been saying since the start of the season, by the end of January, we'll start figuring out what this team is, and we're in the middle of January. You got some games coming up. You travel to Syracuse on Saturday. Hopefully get one back from them beating you at home. You got Duke next Tuesday, and then you play at Miami next Saturday. I think after those 3 games,
I will say,
figure out
hold
what
on,
the team you have.
I gotta answer Carol's comment. Dustin seems like a guy who would not wash his hands in a public bathroom.
Absolutely.
He seems like he'd be a guy that pisses on his hand and just walks out the bathroom, touches the door.
My aim's not that bad, Nate. I mean, come on.
Are you sure?
And then he
These
goes
hands
and
are clean, bro.
sits
that.
down and grabs a wing and moves on.
I thought we were boneless buddies.
Oh no.
What happened to that?
Boneless buddies, shut up. Shut your mouth.
God.
We should have
your
shirt
mouth.
made of our faces and put boneless buddies on it.
Oh my
Make that happen,
God.
Logan.
Boneless buddies. What do we
That's
need?
the next no game day shirt.
Boneless buddies. I
Boneless
hate y'all.
buddies. Y'all both can wear that because that is.
I'd
something
totally
I never
wear
would-
it.
Dustin will wear it if it's gray.
That is true. He'll wear anything if it's gray.
Dark gray. Or
Oh my God.
a blue.
But
Ugh.
back to
Easy.
basketball. So yeah,
Yeah, bring us back to the basketball because Leonard Hamilton and the Knowles are back.
They're getting there. I won't say they're back yet. I'm still tempering my expectations. Hopefully, they don't go 4 of 30 from 3 against Syracuse on Saturday. But it's always great beating Miami. That's 8 straight over that school down south, and you have a chance to make it 9 next Saturday. Couple games got rescheduled. Boston College got rescheduled for February 21st. It's a Monday. And then for some reason, they rescheduled the UNF game for next Thursday at noon, which is the most disgusting game of all time. UNF at noon on a Thursday, 2 days after you play Duke.
Man.
Yeah.
Need that
But,
W.
but I just don't understand the timing. It's UNF. Why sandwich them between Duke at home that your top guys are going to have to play 30 minutes in that game? Then you have to travel to Miami for that Saturday, and you still have to find some day to take your NCAA mandated day off that week. Good luck.
Yeah.
You said they're playing at noon on a Thursday?
Noon on a Thursday.
Ew,
Where's the game at?
In Tallahassee.
Well, you'll be there.
It's at Child's.
How are they gonna do that during a work day? I thought it was on a Saturday or something.
There's going to be 100 people at that game. And
Well,
50 of them will be people on the court.
Yeah.
Are you?
And then the rest are event managers.
Podcast. Austin.
Yeah. I'll be on a Syracuse. It's a radio show. It's a Syracuse radio show. I'll be on that tomorrow morning.
What time is that?
I don't know if it's live or not. I'm assuming it's not.
It's a radio, isn't
it? Yeah, but you can plug in segments. I'm doing the interview at 10, and then we'll see when they post it.
VZ's getting radio on us, huh? Shit.
It's nothing new.
We gotta step up our football. Jesus, we gotta step up our football coverage.
Can they get a revenge win? I don't think Syracuse is that great of a
Syracuse
team.
is kind of bad right now. I'd have to look at their schedule, but I'm pretty sure we're there before the other night when they beat Pitt, which I mean, that's like beating Howson. But I think we're their only other ACC win. I'm pretty sure they're 2-4 in conference. Let me double check that real quick.
Any plans this weekend, guys?
Yeah,
I'm getting Boneless Buddy t-shirts made.
See, Boneless Buddies t-shirts made.
So yeah, they lost to Virginia, who Virginia's not that good. Lost to Miami by 1. Lost to Wake Forest in overtime, who's better than expected. And then beat Pitt, but it wasn't like a resounding win against Pitt. So they're 2-3 in conference right now. They had a game against Georgia Tech postponed, which that probably would have been a win because Georgia Tech's also horrendous.
Michael's bringing up it could be a trap game. I mean, the student section not being there. Kids, I can see kids skipping classes though to go to this.
I mean, yeah,
just have an excuse.
Basketball or computer class? Basketball
or the library.
It's gonna be like the second week of class, dude. Like no one's going to class yet.
Yeah.
Wow, Dustin,
I didn't go to class until like April.
That's why it took you 7 years to graduate.
Even for the class that started in August, I was like, I'll show up in April.
I didn't go to class till summer school.
Summer school. It shows too. Trust me.
That's right. That's a whole story for another day.
Oh, I'd love that one. Maybe we can do that for the LSU pregame show and whatever bar we're
at.
I didn't even know Boneless. I didn't.
No, we won't have boneless wings there at that tailgate.
Boneless Buddies is the 2022 No Game Day mantra.
I didn't even know it was going to be a thing.
It's a 2022 sitcom sponsored by No Game Day.
Where I'm going to get shirts made. Put your comments in if you want me to. If you want one.
Yeah, Nate's going to do all the.
Is there going to be another homemade shirt?
On a Sharpie?
That thing was pimp, man.
That was perfect. That was perfect. If only the violin or whatever. If only the ukulele.
If the ukulele worked, man.
And then Nate had the Miami shirt. Like, y'all almost had some great.
Yeah, that would have been rolling if the ukulele worked against Clemson.
Yeah.
Is it still back here? I think I threw it away finally. Oh, no, it's still back there. Never mind.
It has to be there. It's one of the best clips we have on the show.
It was just a shock of it because I didn't tell y'all. I just said, I got something.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. We got to do more of that.
I thought you were going to play a song, and then you just broke a musical instrument.
I think you said, "Are you going to play a song?" Wait, you're not going to break it. And then boom. Oh, good times from that last season. We'll have to do a lot more prop things to make it a little bit more exciting on here.
Should I do one for the Duke game? If I don't have one prepared, never mind. I do have a signed Coach K thing. I can rip it up, but I don't think he's coaching right now because he has COVID. At least he didn't coach last night against Wake Forest, and they absolutely beat the crap out of Wake Forest.
Oh man. Oh.
As a basketball fan, just keep it. Don't rip it up. Jesus.
I know. I've got
Yeah,
two.
don't rip that shit up, man.
I've got 2.
I do have 2. I had him signed 2.
So
Let me get one.
One's addressed to me, and the other's addressed to my parents. So
I can be your dad.
no, you cannot.
Let's stop this. Let's stop this while we can. Every win, Miss Curl's saying every win next year, you guys should take your turns with some crazy antics. So we can add up some stuff. We can find a few things, I'm sure. We could find a few things like ripping off tigers' heads.
Austin still has to drink milk. You know
that is right.
The whole gallon of milk thing.
Yeah.
From what?
Or was that Dustin?
No, it was Austin.
From what?
Yeah. I forget what happened. It was like
something happened.
It was a bet, but I don't know.
Apparently, it wasn't a very serious one. Because usually I remember bets. Someone
you got out of it. Of course, you don't remember the bet that you lost, right?
Someone at work owes me a pub sub from 3 weeks ago,
and we still got.
So you remember the bet that you won. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
I have to go listen back, and there's too much material.
Too much material. Too much content.
Too much material. Not enough time.
Yeah. Well, we had a good time on here tonight, gentlemen. Did y'all have a good time?
Do we want to do an instant reaction
Buddies.
Tuesday night for the Duke game if we win?
Sorry, I just sounded like some kind of TV show like announcer there. It kind of sounded really cringe. So sorry to everybody listening.
I wonder if I could do like a video, you know, like a movie on the iPhone.
You should do another trailer video like you did when we first got to Sports Illustrated. That's still one of my. Oh, that's right. It's Chick-fil-A. That is still one of my favorite things of the year. That made me die. That was so fun.
Oh God, yeah. No, I think Nate needs to do the marketing for any kind of major announcement we have next. For the next sponsor, we'll let Nate do the intro, do the whole hype video for it.
Hey, I think it was awesome, dude.
No, it was good content.
Good
Good raw. It was raw.
Basketball. Yeah. You got lady legs. That'll be your name. Lady
yeah,
legs.
no, I was about to say you had a way more stuff to work with there, but you didn't do it. But this next one, I'm kind of nervous about though. Well, we'll see if there's any good news for Florida State tomorrow or either Saturday. We'll see. I don't know if this person's already in the transfer portal or not, but we're going to keep an eye out. We'll have probably good coverage. We'll have full coverage on it from whatever happens, but we'll see. I think it should be a pretty interesting weekend for Florida State.
We'll also have full coverage on the basketball games for the most part.
That's right.
Saturday I have to work during the game, so I'll do what I can. But next Tuesday we're going to go all out for the Duke game. Obviously, it's the game everybody's excited for. Last time Duke came to Tallahassee was that Cam Reddish game winner, who ironically just got traded today. So a lot of people are going to be
bullshit, dude.
It was, but a lot of people are going to be amped up for that game. A lot of people. So we'll definitely have full coverage on that game. And there's not gonna be any better site than
what time is that at?
Flex on him, VZ. Flex on him.
I believe 8. It's either 8 or 9.
At the
Dustin,
top?
are you gonna go to this one now? Are you finally gonna go to a game?
Oh, I'm going to this one.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to get everyone else. Make sure you get your tickets.
Yeah. Especially the students. Yeah, especially the students. You're gonna have to hop on that immediately. I want to come down to Tallahassee so bad for that game. I've been looking at flights. I've been looking at flights all week. It's just not worth it. It's not worth $600 flight for a 2-hour basketball game.
Yeah, Tallahassee Airport is stupid.
If the game was Monday night, it would only be $400. But
yeah, tough
is what it is.
So make sure Logan in the when you tweet out this podcast tomorrow, one of the topics you put Boneless Buddies.
No, because
it's going to be the craze, man. I'm on it, man.
I've been saying we should title our podcast of something related to the podcast other than just what we're talking about. Like that 1 week where we just used allegedly 20 times. It should have just the title of the podcast should have just been allegedly.
I don't like
good stuff in the description.
The Boneless Buddies thing. I don't know if it's just my immature brain, but I just think of bone and then buddies. I don't add in the less to it. And when I say bone buddies, it just makes me think I want to say another thing, and that just makes me.
But
scared.
no one said that. We said boneless buddies.
No one said that. That's your.
That is
He
your
just
own
laughed
version.
at it immediately once I said it.
What do you want him to do?
Because you're a child. That's the reason I laughed. You're a child.
I'm
Yo,
young.
I bet you we can make a cool $5,000 off this shirt. Boneless Buddy is going to be the big thing, man.
I apologize for even bringing this into existence. I didn't know what I was
Great
getting
job,
myself into.
Dustin. You knew exactly what you're doing.
My
Boneless
brain
buddies.
just put two B words together.
Wait, let's just get
And
out of
you
here.
didn't go with- never
I've
mind.
latched onto it.
Yeah.
Like my hate for other people that cover
It is kind of
FSU.
catchy.
I've now.
Oh God. What did Dustin say? What did
It
you
is,
say?
it is a little catchy, you know. The more I say it, boneless buddies.
I'm already thinking of a
Your head
jingle.
like why head bob in your head like that? Boneless
only-
buddies.
I'm already
It's
thinking
only
of a
catchy
jingle.
because it's alliteration, you dumbass.
Oh God! All right. Well, let's get out of here. Busy weekend ahead. We'll see if
Theme
there's any
song by
good
this time
news.
next week. Oh my god!
What's gonna happen next week?
I hear Nate humming something like we're gonna have a theme song by this time
Oh
next week.
God! Let's immediately get out of here. Oh man! All right. Carol saying NIL deals coming with the T-shirts you guys are creating.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you,
Well,
man.
Logan-
Logan will
Travis.
ship them to us.
I
Will
won't
Jordan
wear one.
Travis be my boneless buddy?
I'm telling you, man. You know, I bet you we could get some of these players wearing this shirt. I'm telling you, man.
But they're real men. They don't eat chicken wings that aren't. I
You-
don't know.
We're done.
Slaughtered that.
Yeah, no, I need to end this. I need to end this. Real men eat chicken wings with bone on.
Oh, dude,
Nobody's eating chicken nuggets with sauce on. Am I right, Austin?
Correct.
Thank you.
Well, I mean,
And to
yeah.
to the women too. We want to have real bone in those wings.
We can end the podcast. We're good.
VZ's not a good supporter of the bone-in wings
Close this.
I
out.
know.
campaign.
I only eat bone-in wings. I do not eat boneless.
Oh God!
It just
All
doesn't
right,
taste the same. It does
yeah,
not taste the same.
bone-in wing. Yeah, end us
Please end
off.
this.
Thanks for listening, everybody. As always,
Wait,
listen on
say-
iTunes, Google
You
Play,
have control.
Spotify, YouTube. Everybody say goodbye. Everybody have a great rest of y'all's week. Keep you guys covered there.
Hey,
Check out for the
Get your
text. and-
pre-order in. Get your BB T-shirts. Get your pre-order in. They're gonna fly off the shelf.
And Mama Lewis in the comments. Miss Donna Lewis, Dustin's
Mama
mom,
Lewis
saying,
isn't doing a good job of supporting her sons. Business
Hey,
ventures.
at least there's one Lewis with common sense.
"Damn,
No.
damn,
M-
Jesus, Dustin."
You know,
Just end it.
Dustin's now full on boneless because that we're going worldwide now.
Now we're going worldwide. All right, Nate, give us the theme song as we exit. The show,
No. He's got to start with it next week.
No.
Next week,
I'm gonna.
He's not gonna remember this. By
you're
next
gonna be
week.
right here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got to get. He gets a week.
You're gonna be on full screen, and you're gonna start us. All right, let's get out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys next Thursday.
It's gonna be the
Wednesday
new-
or Thursday.
It's gonna. Hey, the new "Hear the Spear" intro is gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna
Boneless Buddies
remove
theme song.
Dion's. We're gonna remove Dion's part and replace it with Nate's.
Yep.
I mean,
I already got the first paragraph.
oh, thank God we might have a big time guest next week to save us all. All right, I'm out of here. See y'all later. Deuces.